Greetings and welcome to the monthly briefing from the Board of Directors of GemSpace Group of Companies, featuring the head of the team of developers presenting today. This conference was hosted on Monday, June 9th of 2025, and my name is Oleg Lipovetsky, as I will be translating on behalf of all the speakers of today's conference. Valery Ostrikov, member of the Board of Directors, speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends, and welcome to the developer briefing today. As this year poses major technological and innovative breakthroughs for our digital products and services, our roadmap is full of innovative features as our developer team is continuously working hard on attaining them. So today, the head of our team of developers will discuss the plans for the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2025, which will bring numerous advancements and improvements. Mr. Krivosheyev will discuss the goals and aspirations for our B2C, B2B, and B2G products across the world. So without any further ado, please welcome Alexander Krivosheyev, the head of our team of developers. Alexander Krivosheyev speaking. Greetings everyone, and it is that time of the month yet again, the Monday when the development team represented by me is ready to share new information with you, update you on our accomplishments, and discuss our future plans, as well as answer all the questions that we received. Traditionally, my presentation today will be divided into three parts. First, I will discuss GemSpace, our B2C platform, including the processes involved in its development and as well promotion. The next part will of course focus on our B2B and B2G platforms, including our products such as GemTeam and CoWork. And finally, at the end, we will conclude with answering your questions, as we do have quite a few to cover of those today. So let's begin right with our B2C platform, GemSpace Super App. What are the latest news? What has our team been up to? And what are we currently working on, as well as what will be implemented in the nearest time? First and foremost, I hope everyone has already noticed the brand new main screen, and we wish to give you a quick heads up. This is just the start. The new screen will continue to evolve because we have many exciting plans forthcoming, including the upcoming update to our next super feature, our mini app engine platform for hosting and utilizing various mini apps on it within the ecosystem. Work has already begun intensively on its development, and the platform itself is being built according to a clear concept. It will be a comprehensive environment where users can create and launch various micro applications, including options for third-party developers to use the platform and publish their own applications of such. Apart from the mini app platform itself, of course, we have been working on an interesting feature, screen sharing from mobile devices directly, which we currently do not necessarily have. In our upcoming releases, users will be able to easily share screenshots from their phones, as we believe this feature is very useful and versatile, extending beyond just the platform itself. Moreover, our team has begun working on two projects related to mini apps as well, which are the starting points for its development. Now this pertains to the internal aspects of our collective developer team. One is Gem Wallet, focused on enabling exchange and handling cryptocurrencies within our main application and its ecosystem. And the other is Gem Soul, aimed at uniting people through light communication and getting away from online loneliness of today, where users can find communities based on shared interests, as there are various approaches, similar in a way to limited time chat rooms. And the idea is fundamentally broad in scope. As we are heading in the direction of our concept, the proposals we plan to offer in the future will be integrated into our super platform for your benefit, and they will be completely different. Truly, these services will be groundbreaking indeed, not just simple games for passing and wasting time. And yes, there are financial transactions as entire platforms for communication and more. Now, this vast array of such notions is completely limitless, driven by ideas and innovation, which are among the most important concepts within our team. And one of the most important notions as part of our revamped platform development involved providing the SDK and infrastructure to enable third-party developers and other companies to implement their offerings within our ecosystem. Such an approach will generate new ideas and innovations to help develop our platform further. So, in other news, our team is also working on detaching our services from Google, as we are gradually resolving a few remaining issues, and within this summer, it should be fully settled, as we believe this will completely address this matter and adopt more efficient and, of course, importantly, cost-effective solutions for us, including better management of our resources and their payment solution. Of course, our ongoing, endless work is dedicated to maintaining and ensuring the safety of our users within the ecosystem. Now, this involves monitoring within our application, specifically moderation of content, detecting unwanted activities and posts, and blocking or protecting our users and clients from such potential behavior. Now, these are all the latest and most important news regarding GemSpace B2C direction as of today. So let's now move on to discussing our B2B and B2G solutions. As you may recall, we have two main products, Cowork and GemTeam, which are aimed at private and government sectors for use by corporations and other entities of similar kind. Our two products focused on secure business solution, emphasizing protection, sovereignty, security, encryption, and preventing information leaks within communication. Version 1.00 has now been released. The infrastructure has been launched for our first few clients, and specific requests are also being accommodated. Let me also tell you a bit more about the release of 1.00, which included autonomous calls. After these calls without involving creation of chats specifically. Now, this is a completely new solution that we are developing, mainly for the B2B sector and the private sector indeed. It is important to note that this sector has a key aspect that doesn't really exist in the B2C sector, specifically in our standard user-oriented services. Now, these are separate services for application management. They are operated on the customer's side, allowing them to manage their own users within their organization. Additionally, there is a higher level that enables our aggregators to manage their clients and departments accordingly, as global management, including things like the license handling mechanisms I mentioned earlier, are crucial. Whereas we aim to establish mutual understanding with our clients regarding how commercial arrangements work, especially with issuing, renewing, and replacing licenses, all of which are vital components of our product and its ongoing operation. As of today, active work continues, and the ongoing licensing process is in full swing for the involved parties. Moreover, we have also implemented quoting, whether it is a complete quote or a partial quote that needs to be forwarded. Moreover, migration of this specific feature to our B2C solution is also underway, and you can track the progress yourself. Our application already included an autonomous calling feature in earlier releases, as we are continuing to develop this valuable capability for our users and actively are improving it. We are adding features like a call waiting room, for instance, which allows moderators to manage calls more effectively, preventing unwanted individuals, such as random people or certain users, from joining the call or disrupting conversations once the link is clicked. Essentially, this is a crucial moment for business, granting and ensuring a company's security and sovereignty. When an important meeting is taking place, it creates a valuable opportunity. Plus, we are also improving on developing interesting possibilities related more to this feature. Now, this refers to the variety of devices used on different gadgets. For example, headphones and cameras are highly common today, especially when senior leaders or managers use multiple devices in their workload, including smartphones and sometimes computers simultaneously. Now, this means they have many cameras and microphones within their reach. So, currently, we are developing a system that allows users to select exactly which camera and microphone will be active on a call. Now, this will help to streamline a video call, especially for meetings, planning sessions, and similar situations within working environments. There's also another interesting feature we are working at this time, which we think is quite useful. It is the so-called killer feature in the B2B sector, which is the ability to participate in a call on multiple devices at the same time, like using your phone and laptop simultaneously. For example, someone might need to join a call from both their phone and their laptop, and during the meeting, they might need to demonstrate something on one device while speaking through another. According to marketing research, this kind of feature is highly sought after today within the sector, and it is also currently in development on our side to deliver. So, for the next update, we should have quite a few of these crucially important items to be delivered, probably the most important being administration, with a focus on the license management mechanisms, as that is quite a challenging area indeed. So, this concludes all the latest news regarding our B2B and B2G products, and we are moving on. And now, the most interesting and certainly useful part, which is answering your questions. Today we have quite a few of those, and rather, as I mentioned earlier, there are also very interesting proposals to take a look at. Today's questions are quite interesting indeed, and they more along the lines that honestly would think about us considering. Is it possible to set a limit of 1,000 people in the conference, not for those on the chat list, but for those who join the conference online? Now this is a good idea, but it is not exactly what we are aiming for. What we observed as we conducted marketing research and gathered feedback from our users is essentially the limitation on the number of people attending the conference can really operate both in terms of the number of people in the chat and the number of people online. However, typically, we recommend using such options for those who are part of an ongoing conference. Generally speaking, people have already joined through a specific link. Therefore, they are also present in this conference and are participating online. For example, if you want to open or minimize in a conference window, the window might shift or get minimized, and at that moment you will stop being online. It then continuously shows update notifications, which is also not too helpful. When will screen sharing be available during conferences on smartphones, not just in the web version? This is a very useful feature. We do have such a feature, but it's hard to specify exactly when it will be introduced precisely. And as of today, we already have a set plan of features to be implemented for the next 6 months. Our current focus is on rapid development to meet immediate needs, and we would like to see the development of our super app platform and the initial mini apps first, to give a boost in this B2C direction. Currently, videos are played without sound when sharing screens during online conferences. Is this possible to enable the sound? Yes, it is indeed a real challenge, and I wish it could include sound, so our team will handle this matter for you. I suggest that the future GemSpace homepage, where new mini apps will be posted, include our email addresses in the communication core section. It could be called Gem Mail, similar to Gmail, other mail platforms, and etc. This will increase the desire to stay in GemSpace and read your email, and will help attract additional users. It would also be possible to conduct business in full swing with a single super app platform, which is another competitive advantage over other competitors. Essentially, our initial concept was based on the idea of a super app platform indeed. This approach assumes that our application will quickly start filling up with new and multi-capable mini apps, like email, calendar, wallets, games, and all the likes. Choosing what to click and enjoy is optimally loosed to each user. As for what will actually be developed internally within our company and what will be outsourced to third-party developers, that is another topic altogether. The question is, the future will show us how the platform's performance will initiate, what will be in demand on the market, and whether or not to develop such solutions at all. It all depends on serious market research. There's also an interesting idea about a utility for viewing emails directly on a device. So imagine being able to open your email directly in GemSpace as a mini app. This could be a practical and innovative concept at once. Will it be possible to speed up the viewing of circles? Currently, there is no such idea, but it might be considered for implementation depending on how technologically demanding it will be. After updating the application, the audio and video speedup feature disappeared. I wrote to the support service in the application twice, but I never received a response. We will note this request and our team will look into this matter for you. Thank you for letting us know. When viewing a video conference recording, the visual window is very small and unpresentable. Will there be a full screen view of the video conference replays in a normal format? And if so, when? Yes, this is not the expected result, of course. Our team plans to address this issue soon and fix it. It is a minor bug that will be resolved as part of our priority processing within the team. And now, in conclusion, our team remains steadfast in our efforts to position our B2C super app at the forefront of innovation and cutting-edge technologies, as well as our B2B and B2G initiatives. Your feedback is always invaluable to us and our team, as it lets us to continually enhance and refine the applications and services to better meet your needs. So thank you for your continued support and engagement today. As with that, I now pass the word to Valery Ostrikov, the member of the board of directors of GemSpace Group of Companies, to continue our conference today. Valery Ostrikov, member of the board of directors of GemSpace Group of Companies speaking. Greetings, dear colleagues and friends, and welcome back to our briefing with developers today. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our exceptional and ever so expanding team of developers, as their hard work, creativity, and dedication to innovation continue to shape and elevate all of our products across the board, including all of their ecosystems, making them truly extraordinary. And let's now continue by answering the questions that we received for the board of directors. When will dividends on Class C and Class D shares be paid? As we've discussed already previously, this will happen immediately upon the first sale of licenses. The process is currently ongoing at different stages in various countries, and we hope that over time our efforts and actions will pay off. Overall, this is an ongoing and time-demanding process, so please stay in touch and follow our latest news. Please advise whether Class D shares will be converted to Class C shares. We are currently working on developing this aspect, as the previous direction to which Class D shares were subject to has now been put on hold temporarily. A comprehensive solution will be offered in a timely manner. Other certificates for GemSpace shares listed in the fund, and other plans to introduce any certificates or documents to confirm ownership of Class C dividend shares. Correct. Please note, however, this process is fairly lengthy, taking around 6 months to complete. In other words, we are creating a separate section within the investment fund on which shares dividends will be paid out, and the process is still ongoing. Please clarify whether the application will be sold this year, and is it true that the main GemSpace project is being sold? Has it been officially announced that the country's regions are buying it in parts? Please clarify accordingly. Allow me to give you an official explanation as of currently. The decision to sell has not been finalized just yet. Negotiations are ongoing, with some mixed rumors about discussions in 3 to 4 regions. Here as well, 2 main issues are under consideration nonetheless. The sale will proceed only if certain conditions are met, such as, in other words, the sale depends on meeting these predefined criteria. The number of users needs to reach 50 million plus, and secondly, we need to reach a sale amount that all shareholders will be satisfied with. In our concept, main application could potentially sell to several regions of the world. In other news, I would like to discuss the topic of the current situation in the world today. Right now, we are seeing that cyber attacks, phishing, and data leaks are becoming increasingly common. In other words, civilization is advancing so quickly technologically that security measures have not kept up, especially in mass communications, and this affects many areas accordingly. In all countries across continents, scammers are stealing money. It turns out that government corporations are under threats and end up losing billions. Some popular solutions, though they don't always meet strict standards because, as everyone understands, information is valuable and costly today, so everyone tries to accumulate this information within their entities. Thus, banks, government agencies, and corporations require protected, sovereign, and secure communication. Regulators and security policies related to data preservation demand that data must be stored exclusively within the jurisdiction where it is collected. No one could have anticipated that statistical data or user information would be considered strategic assets, but it is today. Our analysts reviewed the World Bank's report and estimated that the secure communication market will grow from approximately up to $38 billion. The overall market's total size is projected to reach a staggering $341 billion as well. When all figures are combined, it exceeds $400 billion, an immense amount of money comparable to almost arms sales and other economic sectors. Basically, due to the increase in cyber threats and attacks, we're all starting to work remotely and communicate less offline, moving to online, specifically switching to cloud-based localized solutions. The products that we created and continue to develop today are exactly what this market sector requires today. Under certain conditions, and the overall market development trends and the potential value of the products suggest that it will be quite remarkable. The faster it progresses over time, the higher the likelihood becomes, especially since besides our main product, which is GemSpace B2C Super App, which has close to 50 million downloads today, we've also developed another offering, GemTeam, a completely unique encrypted solution including end-to-end encryption, which is highly flexible as well. In other words, a cloud solution can be hosted on a cloud. It can also be properly set out on localized physical servers as well, which we do encourage. Now, this reflects the experience of building a sophisticated technological solution that GemSpace has over 45 plus million users shows that our team not just theoretically is familiar with how to solve these issues of today's world, we also have practical experience. So to put it simply, we can quickly localize, we have excellent support, and if the client opts for on-premise hosting, we can also have very high security along with strong internal corporate functions. Our team of technical specialists works tirelessly, and some of them are even headed to Qatar to assist clients and conduct platform implementation directly in person. Now, the next point I wish to make today is about the fact that despite the summer is ongoing and the holiday season is upon us, we still have the opportunity to achieve great results. From my own experience, I can say that even small changes in your life require effort. It is true, but if minor efforts lead to quick transformations, you should be wary. On the other hand, if you have natural organic options that you have invested a lot of effort into, it will provide you with sustainable and reliable results. In general, I would like to discuss how to set achievable goals for ourselves in 2025. Now, this slide offers information and the methods that can help you do that are based on principles that I have personally tested and verified myself. First, the main point is game. We're accustomed to achieving goals, but what does that mean? This involves responsibility. That's the burden that falls on all of us. In general, if we want to move toward our goal easily, we should approach it like it is a game. Basically, taking a game mindset can make it easier for us to achieve our goals because the most important thing is to have passion. Because passion is essential. Passion is a great indicator that your internal drive is serious about something. It shows that you chose your goal yourself and not the other way around. Excitement reflects your internal state, your genuine desire to achieve this set goal. Now, the second key is your mental state, of course. How much your mental condition allows you to achieve what you've set for yourselves recently. There are many techniques for that actually. The key is learning how to bring yourself to a certain mental state, but ultimately, your inner state is entirely dependent on your passion and your motivation. The next point is about understanding the why. You need to clearly ask yourself from within, why do you need this? Every person has their own internal reason for a goal, which makes it impossible to connect or unify. One person needs to it for themselves, while another might look at it and say otherwise. Basically, you need to ask yourself this question first. Why is it especially so important to you? The next characteristics are the people around you, those who surround you. They are very important. Be mindful of the energy you spend and protect it. Recognizes this helps you avoid unnecessary resistance from your surrounding and overcome challenging more effectively. And in fact, the environment should encourage you to move toward your next goal, like adding your next ingredient. Of course, staying focused all the time is tough, but remember, this is also a matter of your inner self. If it gets a bit hard, taking a short break will help you return with renewed, established clarity. Never stop focusing, never stop wanting, and never stop learning. Now, these are very important principles you must go by, but the final ingredient is, of course, energy. If you look at people who always succeed and seem to have everything, you will notice how they remain energetic at all times. Their resilience and energy are what sets them apart. In other words, they have a high level of internal energy, enabling them to understand what level of risks or danger they are capable of handling. It's about developing the skill to deal with various life's challenges without losing momentum, all while maintaining enthusiasm and vitality. Now, this is a skill that needs to be cultivated over time, but achieving your goal is always a certainty. When all these ingredients are combined in the right order, you can confidently say that this is one of the tools that is the formula of your success. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your time thus far today and pass the word to Alexander Kachinovsky, the member of the board of directors of GemSpace Group of Companies, who will finalize our conference today. Alexander Kachinovsky speaking. Dear friends, and greetings to everyone. Thank you to Mr. Ostrikov and the developers team for the depiction of where our projects and digital products are headed, but let's now finalize our conference. As firstly, let's tackle the remainder of the questions that we have for the board of directors. What are the plans regarding the number of licenses to be sold? Where did the figure of 5,000 come from? Now, this is just an approximate number, of course. It could be 4 or perhaps 6,000 or something else. This is the figure that our strategic department assessed and calculated. Furthermore, considering the various regions, for instance, the current achievements in the Middle East, Southeastern Asian countries, where we will begin working this fall, as well as Latin American countries, with which we have already initiated cooperation and see great potential shortly. We were even contacted from Europe regarding our GEM Team Secure solutions. Of course, that contact is not a license or a contract yet, but it is a clear depiction that we've created an interesting and essential product that is needed today. It is a very evident trend that nowadays corporations, private companies, and government entities do not wish to rely on certain countries and their digital products. Specifically, leaders of these government institutions want to control their own resources and information within, which no one is able to access or disconnect them from. There is distinct interest towards our products, and as more and more entities from across the world are seeking sovereign and independent communication solutions for themselves, it does increase. We are sharing that we are currently in negotiations and testing versions of GEM Team. Even though we don't have licenses contracted just yet, we also need to differentiate between selling a messenger application, whether directly or through private installation. For instance, installing a messenger application does not cost anything or require much effort at all. A user can just open their smartphone, whether on Android, Apple, or any other platform, download the application, and if they don't like it, simply delete it. But when it comes to corporate solutions in the B2B and B2G sector, companies and entities are extremely careful and cautious, thoroughly evaluating every single notion before deciding to implement it. Naturally, a thorough analysis is conducted to understand how it will operate. We also have encountered a situation in Qatar where the technical director of a company stated that they don't need this solution, and it was too troublesome for them to install it. However, the founder of that same company and the company's owner actually told our team members that they definitely need a solution like our GEM team and mandated the technical director to review and report back. So overall, everyone understands the situation today, and we've made calculations for every country and for this matter as well. We do base our estimates on the average figures for large companies, which are our potential direct clients, so we trust these numbers. From our calculations, we can see their significance, but the main task now is to start implementing this work in each country by securing initial contracts. From this point forward, everything will become much easier, which is why we're making such tremendous efforts in our daily work. We are dedicating ourselves to our progress, and we are working towards it. 3D Investment Fund Certificate provides little information about the shares. Previous certificates specified the author's capital, the nominal value of shares, and the series of shares. Could this be related to the fund as well? Please explain. Yes, indeed, this is related to the investment fund as well. Since earlier it was a certificate of ownership from our Marshall company where we offered our services previously. In the investment fund, we do record every step. Every mark on the certificates and documents issued by the investment fund. We are legally required to coordinate with our regulatory officials, including the fund's directors and the Financial Commission. We are making progress and understand that we are working hard to ensure more information is eventually included on the certificates accordingly. How long will it take to pay out the funds after the announcement of the sale of GemSpace application? Will it be a matter of 1 month, 2 months, or longer? First of all, it would not be implemented quickly. Imagine having some amount like $1 billion and needing to split it between 50,000 shareholders. Now this means we need to get a signature from each individual shareholder, collect their banking details once more, and send them the relevant documents so they can make and show proof to their bank representatives of the fund's origins. Today, banks are highly strict about money laundering crimes, especially towards funds organizing from abroad that target personal accounts. Banks are legally required to determine the origin of such funds, and all these steps need to be taken. Now this is be implemented by utilizing a specialized third-party company, and the process will take some time. Some shareholders may receive the funds within a month. Others may receive the funds within 2, and some within 3 months. I also wish to mention that based on how the online shareholder verification process is currently ongoing, despite it being extremely straightforward and taking less than 5 minutes, still hundreds of people struggle to handle it. But this is just a technical matter, of course, as when one needs to receive their funds, we are confident that everything will be done much more promptly. Why are investors referred to as advertising agents in the documents in our accounts? Now that's an interesting question. We will review and will definitely provide an answer soon. This might be related to some European bank that is strict about transfers. Most likely it's something else. We will also check on that accordingly. In fact, the main document is the certificate of shares ownership in the company, extracts from the registry of shareholders, and the comprehensive set of documents that we are preparing for signatures with the fund. And if needed, they will be able to print the documents themselves. The process will be mandatory for now regarding this matter, as we are taking it very seriously, and we will definitely provide you with the package of documents accordingly. Who in our company has the right to change the established procedure for calculating and paying the leaders' bonus? As far as this matter is concerned, we do not have such rules. The marketing program pertains to the topics discussed within the President's Council. They review them and consider, then they submit it to the Board of Directors for approval. You can contact our support service in this regard, and we will definitely review any suggestions or proposals that come in. Everything can be examined, added to, and improved at any moment. In other news, I wanted to share a thought with you because even at today's conference, it's often mentioned that it is now 2025 and things are moving slowly. while other companies get everything done super fast. So to give you a bright example, Shopify, which you might have heard of, is a very well-known company today. This topic also touches up on the concept of SaaS, Soft as a Service, which we are a part of course. Currently, our industries are shifting towards service-oriented models, specifically software as a service. Our secure corporate solutions, both Gem Team and Cowork, are developed fully in-house and are offered as a service, as well as an e-commerce platform. Now, this is essentially the same approach as what we will now be implementing in our mini app engine platform into GemSpace B2C ecosystem. Now, in case of Spotify, the company was founded in Canada in 2006, and after nearly 10 years, in 2015, it went public through an IPO. Today, it is the largest platform for easily creating a wide range of websites. You can easily create very beautiful websites, online shops, and other online resources, and this company's valuation has reached up to $200 billion. That is its current market value, standing at that level on the Nasdaq exchange platform. Whereas looking back to the company's origins in 2006, it was founded by Tobias Lutke and his team using these templates and essentially served as a platform for their own online snowboard store. Because they could not develop a high-quality platform, they began creating their own. And over time, they gradually started offering the same platform to other companies. At first, they essentially took on the task themselves through manual processes. Promoting the platform was very difficult because the major players like Amazon or eBay had already established themselves in the market by then. It was clear that Shopify needed to compete and assert themselves as to why people would need to create their own online stores, specifically through Shopify, rather than have their products listed on Amazon or eBay instead. So overall, they had to overcome many challenges, such as constant shortages of working capital and a low awareness of their own platform's capabilities for selling goods and services, as well as issues with attracting major clientele. What did help was largely due to market changes, which allowed Shopify to find its niche. Around 2010, there was a growth amongst small business. As the result, more companies emerged that needed simple websites and online store creation services. So in 2010, Shopify was able to attract their first investment totaling approximately $7 million, which is reflected on this slide. And as you can see, in 2013 through 2015, due to the startup explosion, there was a significant increase in clientele and an expansion of the Shopify's features. Essentially, they implemented payments, delivery, analytics, and marketing. By 2015, the company's processing volume, including the turnover of companies that build tools through their platforms, surpassed $5 billion. And as the result, the company was able to make a very notable entry into the market via its IPO, with a modest but important valuation of $1.27 billion. Therefore, then reviewing the company's overall performance, its initial valuation was quite modest, about 25 to 30 million. However, its capitalization grew significantly post their IPO, reaching into the tens of millions or even more. Upon its IPO, the capitalization was at 1.27 billion, but by 2021, the capitalization had surpassed $200 billion. And the returns for early investors exceeded 10,000%. So in other words, those who believed in the company early on benefited truly immensely. Looking at this table, one can note the overall returns that are depicted here with figures around 8,000 to 10,000% or even more. I wanted to note that all investors who made small initial investments received guaranteed substantial profits, exceeding by over 100 times. Basically, when the company was just starting and hardly existed, those who invested in it at the time achieved the highest returns. Why? The figures vary. 50, 70, 80, 100, because looking at the numbers at the IPO of 1.27 billion, some investors who did not sell immediately and instead waited until the capitalization grew to $200 billion, now those investors gained much more than the investors who rushed to sell their shares immediately after the IPO. Nonetheless, the overall returns are extremely impressive. Taking Shopify as an example shows that it exemplifies a classic venture capital business. Basically, these 10 years saw a startup grow into a public company, transforming from a basement operation to a global SaaS leader, driven by venture capital and highly profitable businesses. In our case, we can conclude that it's better for IT products to go through years of development and market positioning first. Our own company's example clearly shows how a proper product niche is formed over time. As we move forward, we have now found our niche in mini apps and fintech. SaaS demands stamina and continuous adaptation, but it also brings enormous profits. The reward for taking early risks and having patience, that is what I wanted to highlight as a good example from our own industry and niche. And now let's move on to our traditional news. We have now reached past 46 million users through our GemSpace B2C application. The number of installations has already increased to a respectable level as we continue to implement cutting-edge technologies to GemSpace Super App solution. Moving on, our schedule of conferences for the following few weeks is depicted on this slide, so kindly submit any questions you may have in order for our marketing team and the board of directors to prepare timely answers. And now let's get to the current promotions, where we have some truly great news. The bonus package of shares promotion is still valid until June 16th for you to enjoy. Moreover, please be reminded of a recently introduced unique promotion, which is essentially a lottery. Of course, we are all familiar with lotteries, as we usually do hold traditional lotteries, but this one is different, because this one is a win-win lottery, meaning that there will be no losers. Now, it is fantastic, as we try to make it very appealing and engaging in a good way, so that it is contagious enough. During the validity period of this promotion, 2 magic boxes will be available in your business centers, and you get to choose which one to open. That's all there is to it. You can click to reveal the gifts from the box, plus it shows that this promotion really delivers on what it promises. Of course, terms and conditions of this promotion are very simple. When purchasing 2 identical packages of GemSoft shares, buyers will participate in the Magic Box lottery, which yields remarkable packages of Class C shares complimentary. The buyer can win prizes in number 1 or prize number 2 depending on what box he or she chooses. Drafts will be available at your convenience in the business centers. And as you can see, it's a no-lose lottery where you can win a substantial number of shares depending on your choice. So, this fantastic lottery is already in progress, featuring elements that you will truly enjoy. And lastly, the following price increase will be implemented on June 17th, as prices of GemSoft packages of shares will increase by 7.5% from their original prices. So in summary, we have reached a truly exhilarating milestone for our project today, as with this exciting progress for our B2C Super App and B2B, B2G initiatives, we would like to thank you for your time today and wish you great health, well-being, and major financial accomplishments, as the next several months will be truly exciting for our company. So until we meet next time.